On ABC, brought to you in part by Samsung QLED TV, the official TV of ESPN College Football.
It's the last Saturday in August, but the first full Saturday of college football here from Memphis, Tennessee. Folks, you're watching the American Conference on ABC here at the Liberty Bowl. Lots of blue in the stands as Ole Miss takes on Memphis for the 63rd time. Folks, if you're ready to just step up and marry this fantastic game we call college football, just say I do. Along with Dusty Dvorak and I chopping it up. Olivia Decker down in the field joining us in just a few moments. Dusty, 150 years of college football. I've called games for 29 years. The pageantry, the pride, the pomp is unmatched and unrivaled.
College football is back, right? 63rd meeting between these programs. No love lost between the schools, between the fan bases. This is what college football is all about. We got 2 teams, 10 new coaches. It's going to get crazy on the field today. Man, let's kick this thing off. I can't wait.
My partner has a lather already. As for my other partner, Olivia, we'll hear from her on the other side from the banks of the Mississippi. Back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. The Mississippi River flows southward from Minnesota, one of the 10 states that it traverses. Its banks have seen discoverers, explorers, and battles. Today in Memphis, the river's the backdrop of a different battle, with the likes of Rebels and Tigers. A little-known rivalry begun way back in 1921. And like the song says, just like the river, they've been running ever since. A Mid-South rivalry now.
Well, Memphis coaches want to use this rivalry to prove their program's progression. But like Dusty said, there is no love lost between these 2 schools, as you can tell by the nonstop booing during warm-ups. They're just an hour 20 apart. They recruit the same area, and the Rebels' largest alumni base is here in Memphis. A lot of bulletin board material here, guys. An Ole Miss player even calling the Tigers their little brother. So Rebels head coach Matt Luke told us that from his 2 new coordinators to his whole team who heard that they're the underdog, there's a big chip on their shoulder. They can't kick this one off soon enough.
Hey, Olivia, little brother, perceived little brother, looking to get some hits in on Coach Luke and big brother here this afternoon. Memphis won the coin toss, deferring to the second half. Moore and Ely back deep for Ole Miss. Ely going to take it out. He hesitates and takes it all the way out to the 24-yard line, where quarterback Matt Corral, the 6'1" redshirt freshman out of California, will take the reins of that Rebel offense. First down and 10. This is just his 5th game. He played in 4 games a season ago, but maintained his red shirt and comes in as the starter here, winning the job in camp. Was 16 of 22 a season ago, and a couple of touchdown tosses, 1 interception. Matt Luke in his 3rd year on the sidelines as head coach, but really in many ways a different season for him with the sanctions all gone. 1st and 10. And nowhere to go for Scotty Phillips. It'll be 2nd down and long. Dusty, when you look at this Ole Miss team, Rich Rodriguez was hired by Matt Luke. Big changes with the offense.
Big changes and a big hire. Rich Rodriguez is an offensive guru, has been for the last 25 years in college football. And now he's got Matt Corral, a highly touted high school recruit 2 years ago, one of the top pocket passing quarterbacks in the country. Can't wait to see exactly what this Rich Rodriguez offense looked like. Remember, he was out of college football all last season.
Elijah Moore made that last catch. And it's 3rd and long. Corral with time down the middle. Lots of contact and incomplete. Intended for Jonathan Mingo, the intended receiver. And broken up by Blake Jr.
Excellent job in coverage. Going to be a drop 8. Adam Fuller, the new defensive coordinator, does not bring pressure. And you see the big hit delivered by 41, the safety, Sanchez Blake, to be sure that ball was not caught. A perfect start for Adam Fuller, new defensive coordinator's defense, with a quick 3 and out.
Hey, keep an eye on that guy, number 9, Pop Williams. was second in the country last year in total punt return yards. One of the most lethal punt returners in the nation, but they use the directional punt and knock it out of bounds. So he won't get an opportunity. It'll be 1st and 10 for Brady White, the quarterback for the Tigers. Brady White was the starter a season ago after this 44-yard punt. Second-year starter, 15 pounds heavier, and maybe more importantly, Dusty, he feels more at ease with his teammates, and now they have new coordinators too. The Memphis Tigers do.
Absolutely, but it stays the same on offense. Mike Norvell is the offensive coordinator. He calls the plays. This is his scheme, and you're right, Brady White kind of thrust into this role last year. Now he's become a much better team leader, better communicator, and overall this team believes in him more this season.
And he chucks it here to Coatsy on 1st down, and Coatsy picks up about 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4. DeMonte Coatsy is one of the leaders on that offensive side of the ball. His work ethic is unrivaled. They're going to run it this time. This is Patrick Taylor, the 6'3 senior, who gives them about a 3rd down and 2. Taylor decided to come back for his senior year. We'll talk more about that a little bit later.
Big physical running back in Patrick Taylor for this offense.
3rd and 2. Pass complete to the edge to Jones, and Jones going to be stopped up short of the 1st down. So it'll be a 3 and out for the Tigers. Good open field tackling by Keydron Smith, who was the first guy to get there for Ole Miss.
Excellent job by Keydron Smith getting up the field. Watch him as he works here. He's just going to get up the field, fight through the block. Continue to work, fight through the block, and make a nice play behind the line of scrimmage to force a punt. Outstanding job by the cornerback, getting in good position, fighting through the block, keeping contained, and then getting the ball carrier on the ground.
Elijah Moore back for this punt, standing on his own 20-yard line for Ole Miss. Adam Williams with a high punt. Moore is going to eschew the fair catch, and he's brought down after a gain of about 2 on the return after the 41-yard punt. One of these teams will be singing the blues after 4 quarters as we come back to the City of Blues right after this. And welcome back, everyone, to the city of Memphis, the Blues City. Your first time here, right, partner?
Unbelievable place. We've already had some good barbecue, seen some great sights. What a fantastic city.
So much history. And walking down along Beale Street yesterday and Main Street outside our hotel, a lot of people talking about this football game and this matchup between Ole Miss and Memphis. Second possession of the ball game for the Rebels, and nowhere to go this time for Scotty Phillips. Brought down, and no gain on the play, and Russell with the tackle.
With his front for the Memphis Tigers all over Ole Miss up front. Excellent job changing the line of scrimmage. We've seen O'Brien Goodson several times playing on the other side of the football.
Rich Rodriguez's offense on display here, the 2nd time in the ball game. Little inside handoff. Pickens making the tackle on Phillips, a gain of 3 on the play. It'll set up a 3rd down and about 7 to go for Ole Miss.
Second consecutive drive here for Ole Miss. They're 3rd and behind the sticks. Adam Fuller, traditionally an aggressive defensive play caller. They brought him in from Marshall. Loved what he was able to do there. Now the first 3rd down, we saw him just play a drop 8. Won't be surprised if they try to heat up Matt Corral here.
Corral out of the shotgun, had time and overshoots his receiver by a ton at the 40-yard line, intended for Jonathan Mingo. So Ole Miss goes 3 and out again for the 2nd consecutive time on their first 2 possessions. Adam Fuller, another one of the 4 new coordinators for the 2 respective teams on the field today. And there's a look at Pop Williams, ready for his 2nd punt return, staying at his 31. Mac Brown with the rollout rugby-style punt. And Pop will have a chance here at the 25. Bottled up, nowhere to go, and brought down at the 26-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 10 for Memphis. Well, we talked about Memphis and the turnover on their coaching staff. A total of 5 new coaches coaching 7 new positions in all.
Well, as much as anything, these offensive coaches under Mike Norvell continue to go get better jobs. I mean, the amount of coaches he's putting out throughout college football is unbelievably impressive. He brings in Kevin Johns, most recently at Texas Tech. And Kevin Johns telling us he's been more impressed with Mike Norvell than just about any coach he's worked with. He says Mike Norvell has an answer for every question on the football field.
Norvell in his 4th season here at Memphis. Former coordinator at Arizona State. Pass out of the backfield, complete to Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell, we're told, will play a Tony Pollard type role in this ball game, Dusty. What does that mean to people out there that might not be familiar with that?
Well, you've got to have versatility. He's going to line up in the backfield as you see him now. He's also going to line up in the slot. A lot of motions, very versatile, kind of a Swiss Army knife hybrid that is perfect for this offense.
6-yard gain on the play and a flag down.
False start. 67, offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
A foul against Orana Lopez. Sets up a 2nd down and 9. Pass complete out of the backfield to Gainwell again. Drew a lot of attention, but broke the tackle. Running hard to pick up the first down of the ball game. He ran right over and through Sam Williams, one of those highly touted linebackers.
Anytime someone mentioned Kenny Gainwell, their eyes lit up. You could just tell everyone's so excited to see exactly what this guy can do in the field. And you saw there breaking tackles and picking up a big 1st down.
They go quick, playing that tempo game. Downfield, open. Did he keep his feet in bounds? No. Kadarian Jones couldn't make the catch. But let's go back to Kenneth Gainwell on that last play.
Excellent pass catcher, and when he gets the football in his hands, watch out. Watch the balance here. Fights through that low pad leverage as he fights for the 1st down. A young man that played in 4 games last year. They were so loaded at running back. Remember, Darrell Henderson, Tony Pollard, Patrick Taylor, and Mike Norvell didn't want to redshirt him, but he thought, man, I've got these guys. Let's just play him 4 games and have him for 4 more years. They expect big things this year and throughout his career from Kenneth Gainwell.
They expect a high usage rate for him this afternoon. And as I say that, he catches another pass and picks up about 9. It'll be 2nd down and short for the Memphis Tigers, and Brady White seems to be in a nice little rhythm here now, Dusty.
Getting the ball out quick, finding his going to be one of his favorite targets out of the backfield. You see now Gainwell lined up in the slot. Watch for this to Coxie down here at the bottom.
Coxie, number 10, the long rangy receiver. He makes the catch on the receiver screen. A lot of attention and nowhere to go. The Rebels reading that one. Sam Williams was the first one to get there. A junior college transfer out of Northeast Mississippi Community College.
Anytime you see Magnifico lined up in front of Coxie, watch for the screen. They like Magnifico being able to block. But once again, it's Keydron Smith fighting through the block of the tight end to make the play initially in the backfield.
And we saw what happened after that. There was a flag on the play as well against Ole Miss. A face mask, and that gives them a 1st down all the way to the 40-yard line. The face mask was on Sam Williams, who was the first tackler there.
They were high on Sam Williams, said he's a freak athlete, and got his hand up in the face mask. That's a costly penalty for this Ole Miss defense. Mike McIntyre can't be happy. They've done enough to get off the field. Penalty extended the drive.
False start. 67, offense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
That's a 2nd penalty on him. Well, tonight Heisman hopeful Justin Herbert and number 11 Oregon squaring off against the stout D of number 16 Auburn from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. You can always watch it live on the ESPN app from anywhere. And I'm expecting the Pac-12 to be in that college football playoff this year. They've got some strong teams looking pretty good in terms of their prospects early this year. Oregon, one of them. Running play, Patrick Taylor stopped up right at the line of scrimmage by Benito Jones, who we had a nice visit with yesterday. He was a former freshman All-American, former Mississippi high school player of the year. Dusty, with a name like Jones, you know he can ball, right?
Man, it's all business. Big man. You could tell yesterday he's looking to show up today and this entire season. Veteran guy, played a lot of football. Excellent first step. Good job with his hands getting off the block.
On second down and 14, a gain of about 3 on the play. Benito Jones from Waynesboro, Mississippi. I asked him how many stoplights are in the tiny town of Waynesboro. He guessed about 5 or 6. So I'm going to get on Google Maps and look that up a little bit later. Small town, but big game. Benito Jones. 3rd and long. Memphis on Mississippi side of midfield. The handoff and a great cutback by Taylor. Close to the first down. Let's see where they spot it. They may have given him the first down. He ran over Linton at the end of that run. It looks like he may have gotten it.
I like the feel and the vision from Patrick Taylor. He starts it right, he press it, look at him put the foot in the ground and go back this way. He sees the cut right off his offensive lineman, and then it's sheer power, lowers the shoulder and fights for the first down.
Well, he knew where that marker was. Norvell said he wants to get him the ball about 25 times a game this year. And a little early movement on the right side of that offensive line by Memphis. That's going to be their 3rd penalty. It looked like Magnifico was not so magnificent.
False start. 86. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
This is what coaches worry about, right, Jonesy? First game, those pre-snap penalties, those small mistakes. Mike Norvell can't be happy with what he's seen so far with the laundry on the field early from this team.
7:45 to go in the first quarter. The Tigers were 8-5 a season ago. Norvell going up against Mike McIntyre, the defensive coordinator for the Rebels. White has time underneath. Coatsy with the catch. And everybody running the ball for Mississippi, making the tackle. What do you make of Mike McIntyre and his philosophy defensively on a defense that really needed help after last year?
I loved what he said to us. Knowledge equals confidence equals playing fast. He got that from the great Bill Parcells. He's tried to simplify some things to allow his players to go out and play at a faster pace.
It completes another one. Williams pop makes the catch. Talked about their rather porous defense, very pliant defense a season ago. Those rankings, simply put, were not very good.
Yeah, and Mike McIntyre is a stickler for the details. Attention to details is what Matt Luke pointed to, and they've got a great relationship going all the way back to 1998. They trust each other, and I'd be shocked if this defense isn't much improved this season under the guidance of Mike McIntyre.
Former head coach at Colorado, and prior to that at San Jose State, where he did a great job. 3rd and 17 under heat. Smith got rid of it just in time, and Taylor bottled up at about the 32-yard line, but another flag down all the way back at the 47.
Foul. Roughing the passer. Driving his body into the ground to punish his opponent. Number 13 of the defense. Plays half the distance to their goal line. Automatic first down.
Well, they were hyping Sam Williams up to us. They expected big things from him, and he's got a little bit too much juice going right now. Memphis set the screen up well, and Sam Williams has to lay off here. He's got to lay off. Well, I mean, I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't love that call. I'm sorry. I mean, to me, he could have laid off, but to me, that was fair game. I don't like the call.
I would agree with you on that one, partner.
I mean, I know we're trying to protect quarterbacks and all, but you also got to allow these defenders to hit them when they get there. Costly penalty, though, either way.
Sure was. All the way down to the 18 now. Handoff. This is Gainwell. Picks up the first down on a pickup of 12. And it'll be first down and goal now for the Tigers. On a drive kept alive by that penalty a moment ago. Olivia? First and goal. Gainwell between the tackles and just about a foot short of the end zone.
This is the versatility we talked about, right? We see him out as a slot receiver. We see him motioning out. Now he's running between the tackles as a feature running back. Good start for Gainwell.
This Ole Miss defense on its heels, and White takes it in. The Tigers strike first. A second-year starter with just his second rushing touchdown of his career. He threw for 26 a season ago. In his first year as a starter, the Arizona State transfer putting the Tigers on the board first. Although they had some costly penalties on the offensive line, Coach Norvell's crew puts it in the end zone.
2 huge penalties for the Ole Miss defense, both third down. They could have gotten off, but the question is, what do you do with it when you get those opportunities? Mr. Gainwell with a big start, and Brady White caps off a touchdown drive.
College football on ABC is brought to you by Hyundai.
Mike McIntyre, the former head coach at Colorado, one of 10 new coaches, along with Rich Rodriguez, who's Ole Miss's offensive coordinator. There have been much turnover for both these teams. Rich Rodriguez upstairs. Been a long time since he's been up in the booth, over a decade, almost 15 years, I think.
He said
saying,
2000 was the last time he was up in the box, and he said if it doesn't go well, he might be on the sidelines for the second half. But I thought 2 outstanding hires by Matt Luke to go get a guy like Mike McIntyre, an offensive mind like Rich Rodriguez. The knowledge they have, the head coaching experience, thought it really made a statement for this Ole Miss program, bringing those guys in.
Couple of former coach of the years. Tigers out to a 7-0 lead just underway here in the first quarter. And 7 yards deep. They'll take it 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. We're going to take a short break here at the Liberty Bowl. When we come back, Olivia Decker will have a lot more on our new coordinator.
Back to Memphis, the Ole Miss Rebels are taking the field on offense now, and their new offensive coordinator, Rich Rodriguez, was telling us that in his year off of coaching football, he watched a lot of football, especially NFL. He even met with some NFL teams to adapt his schedule a little bit. But guys, he's still intense, he still coaches with an edge, and he told us most of all, he's not going to sacrifice tempo. He's even teaching these kids fast. Dusty, what do you think about that?
Well, this offensive line for Ole Miss has got to settle in. Memphis has taken it to him here early in the first couple series.
And took it to him on that play. That's going to be a loss back to the 17-yard line. Bryce Huff, he had an interesting quote when we spoke with him yesterday. We asked him, what are you going to be thinking during that first snap? He says, I want to destroy whoever I go against.
He said destroy everyone. He was highly motivated. Big play there on first down.
2nd down and 16. Little malfunction at the junction there on the handoff. Scotty Phillips, Dusty, looked like he almost bumped into his own teammate that time. And what do you make of the offense so far for Ole Miss?
Well, the offensive line isn't blocking anybody, right? The Memphis defensive line is imposing their will. They're changing the line of scrimmage. Whether it's on pass plays, on running plays, there's nowhere to go. So they're going to have to do a better job of blocking up front, opening some holes, and giving Matt Corral some time.
Looking at a 3rd and 15, way behind the chains here.
Screens, throw something off, get the ball out quick, help this offensive line out if you're Rich Rodriguez.
Corral sacked back to the 12-yard line. Londre Thomas got to him. They heated him up, Dusty.
They did. Number 12, Londre Thomas. You're going to see him work right here off the edge. He's going to come up and under and beat this tackle clean. They bring pressure up, under. Tackle has no chance, and a big sack. Second one of that series for Matt Corral. This Memphis defense been ferocious here early.
Punt goes all the way back to the 34. This is Pop Williams. Made the first wave miss. Williams in the open field, and finally brought down at the 27-yard line by Snoop Connor. So Williams getting his pop on that time. But there's a flag down all the way back at the 36-yard line. So hold on just a minute.
I think this is coming back, partner.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 36, the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And Pop a little bit distraught after that penalty, which will bring this one back. But an electrifying return by Pop Williams. Right at the top of your screen. That electrifying run, all for naught.
Welcome back to the Liberty Bowl. College football is back. Tigers on top of the Rebels, 7-0 early. Memphis is mentioned in more songs than any other city in the world. Did you know that, Mark Jones? Over 400 times.
Wow. Walking to Memphis. My favorite. I'll sing a few bars for you later if you want.
Come on. Yeah, come on, man, right now.
To the 31-yard line.
No better time than the present, right?
I found my thrill.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Like a true pro.
Here from the home of the Blues in the Liberty Bowl. Mark Jones, Dusty Dvorak, Olivia Decker down to the field. Memphis with a 7-0 lead. And this is Patrick Taylor, brought down by Lakia Henry. Henry, one of several JUCO starters on that Ole Miss defense. Dusty, how tough is that adjustment coming from junior college to major Division I FBS football?
Well, it hasn't been tough for these guys. 3 different guys have stepped in and started right away, and Lakia Henry, he just showed up in fall camp and already inserted himself into this starting lineup. They are very excited about John Haynes, Lakia Henry, and Sam Williams.
Brady White under duress and brought down, but a yard short of that first down marker by Henry once again. Consecutive tackles by the #1 JUCO inside linebacker out of Dodge City Community College a season ago. And Mike Norvell decides he's going to punt.
Nice job by Momo Sonogo getting the initial pressure. Brady White was able to evade that, but excellent pursuit to the football. Once again, Lakia Henry making his presence felt on that series. Nice stop for this Ole Miss defense.
Rollout kick. Moore fields it cleanly at the 21. And surrounded, engulfed, and brought down at the 23-yard line. 44-yard punt, nothing on the return. And folks, this season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, All-State will make a contribution to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, All-State. Under a benevolent sky here at the Liberty Bowl. 1:31 to go here in the first quarter.
I'll tell you a guy who I want to see get involved right now. Jarian Ely, true freshman. We heard explosive, dynamic playmaker. They want to get him the ball in space. Get him the ball out in space. They're running into a brick wall up front. Jarian Ely needs to be featured in this series.
You see those prolific numbers from a year ago, but that's with a couple of high-round draft choices from the NFL now departed. That was Ely, the guy you were just referring to, the true freshman out of Walnut Grove, Mississippi, brought down by Cole Mashburn.
What a job this Memphis defense has done so far. You know, Adam Fuller was brought in. He was an outstanding defensive coordinator at Marshall, top 30 defense in 30 different categories. Mike Norvell loves this guy. One of only 3 teams in college football not to allow a 100-yard rusher, and they're showing up for him today.
Corral in the seam, caught, hung on to it, and we might have a spearing call as Elijah Moore took a hit from Londre Thomas.
We'll have to take a look at this, but on first glance from up here in the booth, it sure looked like helmet-to-helmet contact, and I would guess it's going to be a targeting call.
Yeah. Said spearing. I'm showing my age a little bit, Dusty. Sorry. Targeting.
And this was
The ruling on the field is a catch for a first down. Personal foul. Targeting.
Yep.
Number 12, defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down. This play is now under video review.
19-yard gain. They'll tack some more yards on as well.
Londre Thomas, a big part of what they do. 100% helmet to helmet. I think that's going to result in a disqualification.
Leading with the crown. Here's a look at the rules. Ruling must be confirmed or overturned. And then, you know, the 3 targeting fouls in a season result in a full game suspension.
So there's the launch. Uses the crown of the helmet, and it is to the head or neck area. Yeah, this is...
After video review, the call on the field of targeting is confirmed. Number 12 is disqualified for the remainder of the contest. 15-yard penalty will be enforced. First down.
And just so people know out there was a rule change to targeting this year, okay? So now this year, stands is not one of the calls. They want to make sure, since you are ejected from a game for targeting, that they got the right call, and all the indicators of targeting are there, as we saw. But there's no more stands. It's either confirmed or overturned, and the right call on the field, as we saw, that it was confirmed.
Great distinction. And it's interesting that Thomas, who you see leaving the game now, disqualified, actually had a sack on the last series. Here's the play one more time. The launch, using the crown of the helmet. Targeting above the shoulders and the head. And he's DQ'd for the rest of the game. Between the tackles, this is Scotty Phillips. Scotty Phillips, a year ago this time, was a JUCO player out of Jones County Community College, making his transition to Ole Miss.
15, Quindell Johnson has now entered the game. He typically comes in to play safety as a nickel when they go nickel, because that's Londre Thomas's position, but now we'll see Quindell Johnson playing a lot of safety for the rest of the day.
Good fake by Corral, who's going to take off with it. And he tiptoes out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. We had a chance to meet with Matt Corral yesterday. He has another year of eligibility after this year. And what do you think of what he's done so far, Dusty?
Well, Corral's got 4 more years of eligibility.
Yeah.
Redshirted last year as a freshman, but a lot of moxie, a lot of confidence. I like that. And a guy that they feel has big arm talent.
That is the end of the first quarter.
And as we saw there, has the ability to extend the play and pick up big gains with his legs. Nice job by him evading the rush and picking up a first down.
Got a timeout on the field. And that's the end of the first quarter. First 15 minutes in the books here in Memphis on the banks of the Mississippi River. A lot of the activity includes barges moving that product down the water. These teams trying to move the ball down the field when we come back. Mike Norvell, head coach of Memphis, on the left, and Matt Luke, head coach of the Rebels, on the right. Both these teams suffering from some self-inflicted wounds at various times. Right now, though, Ole Miss with the football and making a move. Scotty Phillips on the carry. No gain.
Well, penalties have been one of the major storylines of that first quarter. Think about the Memphis touchdown drive. 2 15-yard penalties on 3rd down to help extend that drive. There was a big penalty on Memphis when they had a big punt return, and then we saw the targeting penalty to help this drive along down the field. Early in the season, a lot of youth and experience, and we're seeing that first game jitters rear its ugly head.
67, offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's against Alex Givens on the offensive line. So many new faces. You look for leadership, Dusty.
Matt Corral letting Elijah Moore know, I want you to motion, but Alex Givens Right tackle. He's got experience. False start.
On 2nd and 16, Corral threw back against his body, across his body, and dangerously in and out of the hands of the defender, Cullens, who almost set himself an easy one. So in a blink, it'll be 3rd down and 16.
Last time on the 3rd down, we saw Adam Fuller heat him up, bring some pressure. Maybe a good time for a potential screen here. Looks like they're just going to drop 8.
They're 0 for 3 on 3rd down. They come back to the screen at the 40-yard line. Cooley with the catch, but nowhere to go. Is going to be brought down at about the 32-yard line. And it brings up an interesting 4th down here. Luke Logan, their place kicker, has very good range, but we'll see what they do here. They're going to leave the offense on the field, and then now Corral will come out.
Well, Coach Luke told us yesterday he felt good from the 30. This is kind of right there in that medium spot. Definitely within his range, but big kick right here.
Yeah, this would be a 50-yarder. Luke Logan, who last year was 4 for 4 in a game that we did in his debut against Texas Tech. And he pushes that one off to the right just a little bit. The Rebels come up empty on the drive after looking so promising. 13:26 to go in the first half. Tigers leading in this regional rivalry. Well, this is a regional rivalry. The two campuses separated by a mere 72.5 miles. Pretty short drive, and a lot of alumni that Olivia talked about from Ole Miss in the Memphis area. And this is a hotbed of football here in the Mid-South. Ole Miss doing a great job recruiting. Memphis trying to close that gap, and on this drive, it's Patrick Taylor with a spirited run for the first down. Picked up about 15 on the play. Behind a nice block on that offensive line, which is featuring 3 new starters this year.
Nice job off the right side there. Center Dustin Woodard, as well as Manuel Orano Lopez, open up a big gaping hole, and Patrick Taylor hits it downhill for his biggest run of the day.
Brady White, the quarterback, the transfer from Arizona State. Missed most of the 2016 season with an injury in all of 2017 before transferring. His arm looking okay on this one, though, and complete at the 35-yard line to Pop Williams as we check in with the studio. All right, Cassidy. First down and 10 from the 40-yard line. Brady White's history with head coach Mike Norvell go back to their days together at Arizona State. They were bringing a little bit of pressure, and Patrick Taylor made the catch but was bottled up immediately. Brought down by Tarquarius Tisdale. And this week's college football playoff rankings are brought to you by Chick-fil-A. We saw Ohio State on the update a moment ago, taking on Florida Atlantic and leading big 28-0. What'd you make of the Clemson game?
They're really, really, really good again.
I mean, what do you say?
And Justin Fields, I'm impressed by that start by him. What a debut in the shoe. A lot of flags today, Jones.
Yes, yes. This game very typical of an opening week game.
Start. 67. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Guys, when Brady White got here last season, he told us he didn't know a single person besides his head coach, Mike Norvell. They go way back, but not this year. This year, he is friends. He is close with these guys. They come over. It's been fun watching him on the sideline because he's so calm and comfortable, and they put more on his plate this year. He handles all the protections and run checks.
Yeah, Rona Lopez, his offensive lineman, was telling us they had a great time at a surprise birthday party that White's girlfriend held for him a few weeks ago. Good pressure up front that time by Benito Jones. But Dusty, he made an interesting comment to us yesterday. Felt like he had won the locker room over this fall. What's it like to be finally embraced by everybody, not just a few certain guys on the team?
Well, it's huge. And I thought the comment he made, off-field relationships affects on-field production, right? There's a trust, communication that has to take place, especially coming from your quarterback. He has that now.
Taylor into the boundary. Got down at about the 34-yard line. Got a nice block from Scotty Dill, the starting right tackle, and a 10-yard gain on the play. That's a 4th down and about 8 to go for the Tigers here. At the 33-yard line, just on the fringes of field goal range for Riley Patterson.
That was a setup play. Mike Norvell said if we can get enough on 3rd down, we're going to go for it and kind of no man's land. Let's see if they try to pinpoint DeMonte Coxie, their top target, up at the top of your screen.
White under heat and got rid of it. He was outside the pocket and the ball appeared to go beyond the line of scrimmage, so no intentional grounding, but good heat from Sam Williams and Ryder Anderson. And that's going to be Ole Miss now taking over on downs.
Big stop for this Ole Miss defense. The defensive line gets home. They don't have to bring pressure. It was Austrian Robinson. It was Ryder Anderson. Mike McIntyre's unit gets off the field again.
Good play from a defense under the microscope. Back after this.
College football on ABC is brought to you by Pacific Life. 150 years strong. Protection and retirement solutions for your future.
You know, Memphis Recording Studios provided the sounds that changed the world. Most famous of the old recording sites, Sun Studios and Stax Records, both now primarily tourist destinations. Speaking of Stax Records, okay, Staple Singers, Dusty. One of the, you know that song, I'll Take You There?
Sure.
All right. And right now, the Rebels trying to get there with a nice catch by Pellerin. Good delivery from Matt Corral.
Hey, what you know about Otis Redding and Rufus Thomas?
Sitting on the dock of the bay,
Okay, man.
Come on. Corral tucks it under and slips and falls just shy of midfield. J.J. Russell was there. And, of course, there's always Stax record, the theme from Shaft. Because, you know, they say Dusty's a bad... Shut your mouth.
Isaac Hayes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Keep coming at me, man.
Corral on the edge to Elijah Moore. Moore out of St. Thomas Aquinas. There in the Miami-Fort Lauderdale area. Highly esteemed football program there in that high school. Makes the catch, sets up a 3rd down near midfield.
Excellent pursuit to the football there by Austin Hall, working inside out. Good leverage on the outside to force Elijah Moore back inside, and Austin Hall was there. 3rd and long. I think pressure coming here for Memphis.
As time had a man and incomplete. Hall broke it up.
Guys, no right tackle Alex Givens on that drive. He was the only returning tackle with any starting experience. He had the false start earlier. They weren't even sure if he was going to join them for this game because he had back surgery as recently as July and just joined the team this week at practice. So he's on a 40 snap count, but they're holding him out for now. I've been watching him warm up and stretch a lot.
They need a little help on that offensive line. Pop Williams calls for the fair catch inside the 10-yard line at about the 8. Pinned deep, 92 yards away after that 43-yard punt. College football is back, and we'll be back after this. Well, this season Taco Bell is celebrating student sections and passionate fans like the Memphis Tigers by awarding the best student section of the year. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see if your team made this week's rankings and to see how your school can compete. And lots of love for Olivia, who was in the midst of those frenzied fanatic fans a little bit earlier to start the show.
Okay, it was a ton of fun up there, you guys. All I told them before, I said, nothing inappropriate, please. This is on ABC. But they were really, really warm and loving, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, these college football fans in this part of the country, always respectful and always doing it right. Pass complete to Patrick Taylor. And Taylor knocked out of bounds. Taylor, Dusty, what do you make of his decision to come back to school this year? It was kind of a controversial one in some senses when you look at what he sacrificed.
I like it, man. I mean, look, he said he wanted to be the man, right? He had to get behind Darrell Henderson. This is why he came back. Boom! He wanted to show he could be the man, the power he has with that stiff arm. And I think he is primed to have a huge season for this Memphis offense.
Makes the catch out of the backfield. Got a good kick-out block, but he's brought down at about the 13-yard line. He did a great projection from the NFL advisory board too, right?
Well, remember, Darrell Henderson was here, had over 1,900 yards. You also had Tony Pollard, who's that versatile back. People forget that Patrick Taylor had over 1,100 yards and 12 touchdowns, but he wanted more, right? He wants more out of his career. He wants to finish on a higher note, and I think as high as his draft projection was last year, he can make that even higher with a strong senior season.
Incomplete, intended for Magnifico, broken up by Hibbler. And it's 3 and out for Memphis. Ole Miss going to get great field position here after this upcoming punt.
Another good job by Mike McIntyre's defense. A quick 3 and out as this Memphis offense backed up. Little zone drop right there. The linebacker Willie Hibbler in a perfect spot to get the pass breakup. This Ole Miss defense has shown huge improvements here early in this game.
Adam Williams with the rugby-style punt. Elijah Moore is going to watch it bounce, and it takes a propitious bounce for the University of Mississippi down to the 26-yard line. A 61-yard punt in all.
Adam Fuller, the defensive coordinator, Mike Norvell handpicked and brought in. Love that stat. One of only a few teams in all of college football not to allow a 100-yard rusher, and it's coming to fruition today. Ole Miss, 11 rushes, not a single yard on the ground. Mike Norvell wanted to see improvement in his defense, and he's seen that and some here early on.
Guys, Adam Fuller also, when he got off the phone with Mike Norvell, first thing he did was tell his wife, what a great guy. Well, Mike Norvell did the same thing. He told his wife, I hope I sounded like that anytime I was up for a job. They've been close since, and it's working.
Got some chemistry, Olivia. That pass incomplete at the 35-yard line. No flag intended for Elijah Moore. And broken up nicely in the secondary. Gibbons back in the ball game on the offensive line. Trying to get him on the out and up. And picked off at midfield. Well read by Quindell Johnson, who's in for Thomas, who was ejected earlier in the game because of targeting.
There's an outstanding job by Quindell Johnson coming over the top, but I'm not so sure that the cornerback, Joey Bryant, didn't get away with the grab. On the double move initially, he's beat. He grabs the receiver, and the receiver not able to get there. Take a look at this outside. Up top, guys, who I want to show you. This is where we're looking, okay? Watch the double move. See the grab there? Grabs him by the waist. Okay, and that doesn't allow the receiver to go make the play, so I think that's a missed call by the official. Give Quindell Johnson credit for being over the top and making the play, but to me, that's pass interference or at the minimum defensive holding.
They definitely had his arm out. Coming back the other way, they hand it off to Taylor, running between the tackles. Over that right side, and a good gain of about 5 yards on the play. And folks, it's the only game of the night. We'll have Brian Kelly, number 9 Notre Dame, taking on Louisville in Scott Satterfield's debut for Louisville. That's Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, from Cardinal Stadium on ESPN as well as the ESPN app. 2nd down and 4. Taylor again, man, they are giving him a lot of work. It's going to set up a 3rd down and 2 After that tackle on Patrick Taylor, you know, Taylor comes from a very athletic family. His sister Nadia was a collegiate volleyball player at the University of Texas, Austin, and now plays professionally in Japan. So he might not even be the most accomplished athlete in the family. He's proud to admit it too. 11 yards rushing, 11 rushes for 62 yards.
Wildcat.
Little Wildcat. Taylor takes it and comes up a little bit short. So an interesting 4th and short coming up, Dusty.
Yes, and don't be surprised if they come right back with that. Short yardage situations, they love to go with the Wildcat personnel. Just go ahead and snap the ball directly to their big back, Patrick Taylor. Nice job defensively up front by Ole Miss. Definitely an area that Mike Norvell is going to want to go for it.
From the 41.
And they do it again. There it is again. They love this Wildcat formation. Power football.
Taylor again. And he fell forward and got the first down. Ran through the arms of Lakia Henry, the inside linebacker, to move the chains.
Strong physical run from Patrick Taylor. That's what happens when you can go 6'3", 230. Look at the strength. Lowers the shoulder, keeps the legs moving, and just leans forward, just gets just enough for the first down.
Got a good block from Dorcius as well. Up top right, has a man and overshot him. That would have been 6, Sean Dykes. And there's a flag down on the play as well. But Brady White had a touchdown there. It's going to be against the Tigers.
See if they want it.
A procedure penalty against Memphis.
It's a legal formation.
Illegal formation. 5 players in the backfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Man, the laundry list is getting up there, Jonesy.
Yeah. We often see this early in the season, especially the first couple of weeks. Mike Norvell, though, has high expectations for his Tigers football team. He said, I want the best they've ever been. The bar has been set high this year in terms of expectations. Gainwell has been a little bit silent of late. He was prominent in the first quarter. And they hand it off to him right here on this play into the boundary. Pushed out of bounds just inside the 40-yard line.
Kind of on your point there, Jonesy. There is high expectations here in Memphis for this football team. Mike Norvell's placed it on him, and he told us his most experienced team with the most depth he's had since he's been here. And when you look at all the pieces they brought back on both sides of the ball, you've got big aspirations for this football team here in Memphis.
But it's a regional rivalry. He says we have a chance to show progression in our program, and this is huge for our fan base. The ball floats up there and incomplete at the 20-yard line. Brady White did not have his feet set, and that was a dangerous pass. Linton had a chance to pick it off here, Dusty.
Yeah, he throws it off balance. I love the defensive play. See how the defensive back, Linton, gets his head around the last second so it's not pass interference. Watch him turn his head around, get his hands up, knock that ball away. Outstanding play by the defender, Armani Linton. And part of that, you know, like you said, Brady White was off balance, doesn't have the strongest arm. That ball kind of floated, allowed the defender time to make the play on the football.
3rd and 10. And White wisely throws it out of bounds. They looked a little disconcerted and discombobulated on that play, and Mike Norvell incensed on the sidelines.
Good inside pressure there from the Ole Miss defensive line. Forced Brady White to move off his spot, roll out, not one of his strong suits. He felt the pressure bearing down, just throws it away. Another good stop for this Ole Miss defense. You think about it, after a turnover.
First charge time out of the half, Ole Miss.
After a turnover and getting the ball in prime time real estate to come up with a stop right there and force a punt. Huge stop for Mike McIntyre.
Got a timeout on the field with 5:05 to go in the first half. You're probably wondering why we're showing you that storage container. Man, if you only knew. Olivia will tell you all about that box in the second half. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Oh, back in Memphis. Mark Jones, Dusty Dvorak, and let's see what the official rules on this. They're going to say it's a touchback on the punt. Great effort there, though, by the Tigers special teams. Well, here in Memphis, this is one of the top food towns in the entire country.
The ruling on the field is the first kicker was able to bat the loose ball back into the field of play where it was down by a teammate.
You heard the ruling. Kansas City got their type of barbecue, but Memphis got that dry rub thing going, Dusty. You know,
we went to Central Barbecue yesterday, and I had some smoked wings with a dry rub on it. Man, I'm going to tell you what, off the charts. Yeah. Off the charts.
Austin comes in and one of the more distinguished sauce places and barbecue spots.
They should have my pops on there. Dennis Dvorak, man, I'm going to tell you what now.
Oh, you got some?
I'll put his barbecue up against about anybody. I'll have to bring you some before the year's over.
Please do. Corral firing wide at the 37-yard line, intended for DeMarcus Gregory.
You know, that's an easy completion, right? They set up the bootleg. He gets outside the pocket. Corral's not under duress. He's got a wide open target, and he just misfires. That's a throw he needs to be able to consistently make when he doesn't have pressure in his face and he's got an open target down the field.
Second down and 10. Corral on the run again and almost corralled and sacked, but got rid of it in time. It's going to be third and long. Folks, today, WBA and WBO lightweight champ Vasily Lomachenko puts his belts on the line against England's Olympic gold medalist Luke Campbell with a vacant WBC title and also up for grabs. This 12-round unification bout is on ESPN Plus in English and Spanish at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific from O2 Arena in London. To order the main card, go to ESPNplus.com/top rank. Corral sacked back at the 17. That Tiger defense showing its teeth on this drive. Joseph Dorcius, one of the more flamboyant players, with the sack.
Watch the stunt here. It's going to go inside. 38, Jonathan Wilson. They call him Swamp Donkey from Louisiana. You see the pick play? He's going to get the initial pressure, flush Matt Corral, and then the defensive end on the other side is able to get the easy sack. The stunt inside got to him, got Corral off his spot, and got the sack.
And Pop Williams back deep, feels it at the 42. Makes another good cut. Got a block. And Pop finally brought down at the 37-yard line. Boy, he is electrifying. You can feel tangibly people hold their breath collectively when he catches the football. A 21-yard punt return on the 41-yard punt.
His short area change of direction is off the charts. He can start and stop. Woo! Look at him, making people miss. Second exciting return we've seen here in this first half from Pop Williams.
I tell you, that must be jelly because jam don't shake like that.
Come on now.
Pop got some shake. Under 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Tigers with good starting field position on this drive at the 37. And they go to the Wildcat formation again, featuring Patrick Taylor. Tries the left side of that offensive line, found a yawning hole, and picks up the first down at the 26-yard line. Taylor out of Humble, Texas.
Watch my man Gainwell with the block here on the edge. This is what sets up this run. He gets on Sonogo, the linebacker, gets a nice block to open up that hole. Big run. Gainwell coming down. The smaller back getting on the big backer, just gets just enough to open up the crease.
This time on the handoff, it's Gainwell. And a good gain of about 8 on the play. Gainwell, the Swiss Army knife on this offense.
Continue to use him in a multitude of ways. We see him all over the place, right? I mean, he's been a receiver out of the backfield. He's lined up in the slot. We see him handing to him the football. He's a slot right there. Just saw him as a lead blocker. The versatility he possesses. Now he's just a simple halfback running between the tackles. The redshirt freshman having a big first half.
On 2nd and 2, he's going to get another opportunity. Carrying that football high and tight. and about a yard short of the first down. Gainwell playing that Tony Pollard role and doing a great impersonation of him so far, Dusty.
Don't want to put too much on the young man, but Mike Norvell said if he continues to progress, he can wind up being potentially one of the best to ever play running back at this great school.
On 3rd and 1, Taylor, 1st and goal, Tigers. And Patrick Taylor thinking if he could only have stayed on his feet, 6 would have had 6. 1st and goal. 10-yard gain.
Obinna Easy with an excellent block. See him work up here. Does an excellent job getting to the second level. Gets on the backer. Allows Patrick Taylor nice running room. Get a nice first down.
Running behind some big offensive linemen. Into the boundary. Gainwell just short of the end zone by about a foot. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, every time anyone would mention Kenneth Gainwell, you could see their eyes light up. And it wasn't just the Memphis staff and players. It was also Mike McIntyre. They knew about 19. They knew about Kenny Gainwell. And they knew he was going to be a big factor in this game. And he's been every bit of that here early.
Dorcius checks into the backfield as a blocker for Taylor here. They line up out of the eye. Taylor tripped up short of the end zone. So it'll be 3rd down. Lakia Henry, the JUCO prospect, the top JUCO inside linebacker in the country a season ago out of Dodge City Community College, making the tackle.
Big stop up front. You see Ole Miss changing the line of scrimmage. They're digging in. Be a huge stop if they can come up with one here.
3rd and goal.
Memphis, no hurry at all as you see the clock ticking down under a minute. Going to milk this for all it's worth here before we get to the half.
It's really hot down in the field. That defense might be on its heels a little bit. 3rd and goal. Taylor again. This time steps into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. Patrick Taylor with his 17th rushing touchdown of his career. Running through the arms of Lakia Henry that time, unlike the previous play. And Memphis up 13-0 with 40 seconds to go here in the first half. This is an American Conference team against an SEC team, and the extra point is no good. It bounces off the upright. And it remains 13-0. Another early season miscue.
Pushed it off to the right. Wasn't expecting to see that. One more time from Patrick Taylor. Again, 6'3". He goes about 230. Power, physical runner. And Lakia Henry, he meets him right at the goal line. So does Sanogo. But the power, the pad leverage as he gets down. Patrick Taylor powers through and works his way into the end zone. You see the physicality from the Memphis offensive line. That's against an SEC front, right? That's against an SEC defensive line. Yeah. And Memphis has been able to have their way. 17 for 87 in that touchdown in the first half for Patrick Taylor.
Well, folks, more college football scores and highlights. Stay tuned for the State Farm halftime report coming up at the break with 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. There's a lot of players from the state of Mississippi on this Memphis team that didn't get a sniff from the University of Mississippi. Let's understand that. And that plays to a player's sense of self-respect and pride. Because at some point, the reason why they're on the field, Dusty, you know better than anybody, you're competitive. And when the school from your state doesn't send you that recruiting letter, doesn't come to watch your games, doesn't offer you that's an automatic chip, at least on one shoulder, right?
When you get that crack at that team, you're going to make the most of it. You know what I mean? Whether or not it's something you worry about day in, day out, when you get that opportunity to show that program what they missed out on, you make the most of it. And we've seen that here so far from the Memphis Tigers.
Memphis is the only non-Power 5 team to be listed as a favorite in every game under schedule this year. Of course, that UCF game looms large. Ely on the carry. They run the ball with a 13-0 deficit. Third year on the sidelines for Matt Luke, former offensive lineman at the University of Mississippi, former interim head coach. And this is a big year for him.
Big year for him, and he made a couple of great hires. Now, This is the first year since he's been there they've got back to 85 scholarships, right? They had 31 guys on National Signing Day. They're a very young, inexperienced team. And I think throughout the course of the season, we're going to see it's a team that gets better and better. We'll see if they can make the adjustments at halftime and come out and make this a closer ball game.
Well, the AAC leading the SEC West right now, 13-0 Memphis with the advantage. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Come back to the State Farm Halftime Report.
Our best matchup of the weekend coming up tonight, ABC primetime, number 11 Oregon up against number 16 Auburn. And this matchup, you look at the quarterbacks. Let's start with Justin Herbert. Coming back for his senior year, has his entire line back. What do you see here, JV?
I see Justin Herbert actually getting a lot of protection from the offensive line and Dallas Womack, Jake Henson, and I also see watching them be able to run the football. Surprisingly,
against
right?
Auburn's
against
defensive
Auburn's
line?
defensive line, yes. This is why you have two very, very good defensive linemen.
Yes.
We have Nick Cole and we have Derek Brown. After that, who do you have? Right? You have good players, but who do you have? And then you have 5 offensive linemen that can run the ball. They know where they're going. They know who to block. We'll see it. Watch it happen.
I can't wait to see how that plays out.
Yes.
Okay, now on the other side, Bo Nix. I mentioned this before. The kid was destined to play at Auburn. True freshman, going to get the call. Gus Malzahn's calling the plays here tonight. As a quarterback, what must you see, especially for Bo Nix early on?
Win, lose, or draw, I'm happy for him and his dad. What a special night for their family. But I'll tell you what I wanted in my first start. When you're nervous, you got the butterflies going, just give me a completion. Give me an easy rollout on the run, just a nice, easy one. Yeah. Get one in the bank, and then move on. Ease into the game. Don't let the stage be too big. I think he's going to have a great night, though.
All right. The stage is set. Jerry's World, AT&T Stadium tonight, prime time on ABC.
This halftime report is brought to you by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. This halftime report is brought to you by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
Looking forward to this matchup later on today. WBO, WBA lightweight champ Vasily Lomachenko putting his belts on the line against England's Olympic gold medalist Luke Campbell, with the vacant WBC title also up for grabs. Unification bout on ESPN Plus in English and Spanish 4 Eastern. To order the main card, go to espnplus.com/top rank. U.S. Open going on right now, and Mark had his first chance to check out the U.S. Open yesterday. He enjoyed watching Serena. We're watching Caroline Wozniacki struggling against Bianca Andreescu. Andreescu won the first set, and right now it's tied up at 4-piece in the second set on ESPN2. Plenty to look forward to from Flushing Meadows at the Open here early this afternoon. Catch Rafa in action before that prime time matchup between the 1 seed Naomi Osaka and 15-year-old phenom Coco Gauff. The ABC college football team lost one of our longtime contributors this past week. Benny Keeperman started in the college football sandbox at the ABC studios in New York in the 90s, providing detailed stats for everyone on the college football team. He was our friend John Saunders' lead researcher before he became a manager in the research department at ESPN. Benny will be greatly missed by all of us here at ABC and at ESPN. He loved the Mets, he loved the Islanders, he loved the Steelers and Liverpool. He also loved weekends like this, filled with college football games. Ben Keeperman was 49 years young.
Ready to...
I
can show you the world.
And welcome back, everyone, to Memphis, Tennessee. You're watching the American Conference on ABC, and a look at the banks of the Mississippi, a river that through the decades has remained largely unchanged. But for Memphis and for Ole Miss, the story has been changed between last season and this season. Mark Jones, Dusty Dvorak, Olivia Decker down in the field joining us in just a bit. It seems like, Dusty, so far that the Rebels have adjusted to that change better than their opponents today.
I think it's been Memphis who's adjusted to that change. Adam Fuller in this defense has been outstanding so far, and that's what Mike Norvell brought him in for. And when you look at what they've been able to do, -1 rushing yards for this Ole Miss offense, I mean, it's been unbelievable. They're winning the line of scrimmage at an unbelievably high clip. It's been very impressive, just 42 total yards for Ole Miss. They can't get Memphis blocked up front. Memphis isn't doing themselves any favors. They've had 7 penalties for 50 yards, but it doesn't matter. That defense was ferocious in the first half. Ole Miss still yet to convert on a 3rd down, and that's the defensive coordinator, Adam Fuller, has to love what he's seen in this first half.
Yeah, Memphis has adjusted better to the change. This is Kenneth Gainwell, who had a very productive first half, stopped cold at the 20-yard line. Olivia, what's up?
Matt Luke told me he just has to get his guys to settle down. They're just so young, and he's calling upon his leaders. One of those is just a redshirt freshman in his first start, quarterback Matt Corral. I did see Corral give every player on offense a high five on their way out of the tunnel, stick with them and encouraging them. One of those players that he couldn't high five is Braylon Sanders, the junior wide receiver. He was 2nd among Rebel receivers in yards per catch last year. He's out with an injury the rest of the game.
Oh boy, that's bad news. Big target, one of the guys that had really established good chemistry with Matt Corral going back to last year and even early in camp this year. Memphis with the ball to begin the second half, and they put it on the ground. Loose.
Ole Miss got
it. Appears that the Tigers
got on top of it.
Jumped on the loose ball. Man, one of those huge offensive linemen, number 77, Ezebi, got on that football.
Obinna Easy, what a great job by him to jump on it. That was a golden opportunity for Ole Miss to start the second half. Got to find a way to get that football.
Over the middle, wide open. And a nice catch out of the backfield. Patrick Taylor showing you his receiving skills. Brady White on the delivery for 22 yards.
We don't always see that from Patrick Taylor. Run a little post route, going up and getting it. A big, powerful running back, showing some agility, some nice soft hands.
That's one of the improvements that he wanted to make, choosing to come back and out of the Wildcat now. Taylor taking the direct snap.
I don't think he was
ruled down.
No.
Ended up bouncing on top of the defender. On his feet, Patrick Magic Taylor. Touchdown.
It's a little bit reminiscent of that Auburn-Oregon National Championship. Let's take a look and see if he actually went down. Patrick Taylor gets his legs taken out. He lands on the defender. He never goes down. What a heads-up play by him. He never heard the whistle blow. He didn't think he was down. Uses his hand to push off the ground. The defense thinks it's over. He gets up and takes it to the house. Wow. What a start for this second half for the Memphis offense and for Patrick Taylor.
They caught a couple of real good breaks on that drive with the recovered fumble. And now this really unconventional, you'd have to say, play. As they look at it,
only place it could be is if that forearm went down, but from the angle that I saw, it looked like it was his hand on the ground.
If his forearm hits the turf, he's ruled down.
Correct, absolutely.
We didn't have a good angle of it on that replay.
No, from where we saw it, looked like his hand was on the ground. Clearly his body was on top of the defender.
Ole Miss is challenging a ruling on the field that the runner was not down prior to crossing the goal line. This play is now under video review.
Let's take a look. Our outstanding camera crew down on the field. I'm sure will give us some excellent shots at this.
Well, the ruling on the field is a touchdown. And there must be convincing evidence to overturn the play. Here's our look on this replay. like his hand was down. We'll find out on the other side.
This is beyond the line of game.
All right, our apologies. Now we were able to get better looks at it from our great camera crew. And as you'll see here, this touchdown will be wiped off the board. Elbow down. It's going to be first down for the Memphis Tigers at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, he was definitely down. That was
Absolutely.
an angle we didn't get a chance to see prior to going to commercial break. So indisputable video evidence. They overturn it. And it all depends on your vantage point on the field. Therein lies the beauty of replay, where what really matters is getting it right.
Absolutely.
Second down and 7.
Wow.
Dustin Woodard,
That's a
starting
huge
center
loss.
for the Tigers, is off the field. And got a new center snapping the ball. We'll have to see what happens here on this initial exchange. And snap. The quarterback, Brady White. They take the fly sweep to Gainwell down the middle of the field and incomplete at the 15-yard line, intended for DeMonte Coxie, broken up nicely by Miles Hartfield. And it's 3rd and 7.
Trying to hit Coxie on the post route. Excellent job by Miles Hartfield, undercutting the route, getting that right hand up, and creating the pass breakup. Nice job defensively by Miles Hartfield. I want to go back to the loss of Dustin Woodard. This is a guy who started 38 games coming into today. He was an all-conference guard. They moved to center. They've now had to move their right guard, Manuel Orana Lopez, to center. A big storyline to follow this second half.
They hand it off to Gainwell, and he picks up enough for the first down to the 36-yard line as we take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. Some of the cogent and pertinent points of the ball game so far. The numbers telling the story. We talked about the imbalance in yardage going into the third quarter. 8-yard gain and pass complete to the edge. That's Samuel, and Samuel's going to come up about a yard short of the first down. Lakia Henry and Sam Williams making the tackle on the play. Dusty, we talked about their 2 outside linebackers. There's one of them on the inside, Henry. But we haven't said Williams and Shepard's names too much. What do you make of that, if anything?
They need to get it going. They thought that they'd have a real advantage with some inexperienced offensive tackles from Memphis. And to your point, they've made little to no impact in this game so far.
2nd down and 2. Brady White dropping way back and picked off at the 40-yard line by Benito Jones. The big fella showing some hands. And we got some flags on the field.
The ruling on the field is the ball has been intercepted. Holding, number 19 of the offense. His penalties declined. First down.
Benito Jones, preseason All-SEC, with a huge play for the Rebels.
Wow, what a big spot there for Benito Jones to step up. The senior, the defense needed to play, and he did it. Here's a vantage point from the quarterback. He's trying to set the screen up. As you see, running back gets pulled to the ground, and Benito Jones, little one-handed grab. He went down with the right. Athletic move by the big nose tackle, Benito Jones. Huge play. Huge play for this Ole Miss defense.
I love the way he just jogged off the field like, yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. Preseason all-conference. See if Mississippi can convert, get some points out of this turnover. Nice run out of bounds near midfield by Scotty Phillips. Picked up 16 yards.
Excellent job blocking on the perimeter. Ontario Drummond, 11, and 8, Elijah Moore. Scotty Phillips is a name we haven't said enough today. Had big aspirations for him, his biggest run of the day.
V2 preseason All-SEC 13. Moore in motion. They give it to Phillips again, dancing between those tackles. A great surge up front to leave them a 2 yards short of the first down. Hey, tonight, Heisman hopeful quarterback Justin Herbert and number 11 Oregon squared off against the stout D of number 16 Auburn. AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. You can always watch it live on the ESPN app from anywhere. A first down run by Scottie Phillips. Who do you like in that game?
I'm going to go with the Ducks, and I'll tell you what, the best matchup of the day is that Auburn defensive line, that Oregon offensive line, two of the best units in all of college football. That's going to be fun tonight. But Justin Herbert against a Bo Nix, true freshman quarterback, I'll go with the Ducks in an upset tonight.
I'm with you on that. Mario Cristobal, the head coach, one of the top young minds in the college football coaching game right now. Jerry and Ely in the backfield. And he takes the handoff, trying the left side of that offensive line down to the 33-yard line. Austin Hall making the tackle.
This drive right here is big for Ole Miss, right? I mean, they've had nothing going in the first half. We talked about it, -1 rushing yards. We've already seen a couple of nice runs from Scottie Phillips here as they've got the football to open this second half. Need to come away with some points here to cap off this drive.
Ole Miss back to 85 full scholarships for the first time in 3 years. Corral with a pump fake and is brought down at about the 27-yard line. What kind of impact would you see today on the field because of those sanctions?
Well, a lot of youth and inexperience, right? Because they've been docked scholarships. This is the first year in several years they've been able to get up to 85. That's why they've got so many young, inexperienced players. Matt Luke understands that. He embraces that, and they're working through it as we speak. Big third down.
The toss into the boundary, and a great defensive play on Ely up front by Dorcius. He was the first guy to make the hit, so it sets up a 4th down.
Oh, it's a big-time play by Dorcius. You're going to see him come up and make this play. Oh, outstanding job pursuing to the football. And Ole Miss understands they need points here. They're not going for the field goal. Looking to get a first down.
Adam Fuller, defensive coordinator. See what kind of play he has dialed up for his defense. Play clock down to 7. Corral almost picked off at the 7-yard line. Nobody home for the Rebels. And Memphis will take over on down.
Well, that's miscommunication between the cornerback, Corral, and the running back, Scottie Phillips. 2 different pages. Scottie Phillips cut his route off. Corral thought he was going to continue his route up the field. And as you see Adam Fuller, he loves what he's seeing so far from this Memphis defense. It's been a wild start to the second half. Let's see what Memphis has on offense when we come back. Here at the Liberty Bowl, Memphis on top 13-0 over Ole Miss. Jonesy, you act like you know everything. You've been talking about the Mississippi River. Did you know 18 million people or more, more than 50 cities rely on the Mississippi River for their daily water supply?
Wow, that is an amazing. You think about the length of this river from the headwaters where I've actually been.
Okay.
Lake Itasca in Minnesota, and it measures up against some of the other well-renowned rivers in the world. I've had dinner on the River Seine in Paris.
I'm going to take the mighty Mississippi.
Okay. You had dinner on that too, right? That barbecue. And this is Patrick Taylor Eaton on offense. Out to the 45-yard line almost. Jalen Julius making the tackle on the play. Dustin Woodard, the starting center, back in the ball game. Out to the edge, complete to Pop Williams. And he spun that like a DJ on the turntable. Pop with the first down for the Tigers. Man. A 23-yard gain, Dustin.
He is electric. I like the block outside. Damani Coxie seals the block in the spin move. For the old school people who played Sega Genesis, that's the old B or circle on the PlayStation. Whoop! Big play for Pop Williams.
Sega Genesis.
Old school.
PlayStation, man. Under heat. Nowhere to go that time for Brady White. And that time it was Ole Miss that pressed the right button. Josiah Coatney. Sega Genesis. Man, talk about the Tecmo Bowl then, and you're going real old school.
Well, Tecmo Bowl. Now, come on, now that's Nintendo. Okay, Sega Genesis. That's when we had a little bit of Bill Walsh's college football.
Okay.
Don't make me break out all my vast old school video game knowledge. Nice job by Josiah Coatney, the defensive lineman, getting good pressure and a big sack to push this Memphis offense back.
Rebels got an interception on the last time defensively on the field. This is Gainwell. Cuts it up inside and is brought down shy of the 40-yard line. Sets up a third down clock running with 7:40 to go here in the third quarter. The 63rd meeting between Ole Miss and Memphis. Memphis has lost 15 of the last 20 and 7 of the last 8 as Matt Luke tries to get his quarterback on the right page. Third down and 15. Now we got a flag down on the field.
Encroachment. Number 10 of the offense lined up in the neutral zone with the snap imminent. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Penalties continue for this Memphis Tiger football team. Had 7 in the first half. 8 penalty already for 55 yards now. Mike Norvell can't be happy about that, Jonesy.
Yeah. 3rd and 20 now, back at the 45. White underneath, complete. In full stride, and oh man. Coxie made the catch, but Keydron Smith was bringing that heat. And he's a little shook up after that stick. A 7-yard gain on the play, and you see Smith favoring that leg.
Keydron Smith's had a really nice game so far today. Look at it, boom! Man, lowered the boom. Big hit. Hopefully he's okay. He's still down there in pain. Big collision there toward the sidelines. He's the one that delivered the blow, but unfortunately, he's the one that bared the brunt of it.
Yeah, Coxie a big dude as well. Coxie 6'3" and 200 pounds. Sometimes you win the war but lose the battle. Good to see Smith able to move a little bit and coming off the field, and
he's okay.
Sophomore out of West Palm Beach, Florida.
Made several nice plays today on the perimeter, trying to throw those bubble screens. He's been able to fight through blocks and make good open field tackles. Saw him square up with the best receivers in the American Conference there on Coxie in the open field. Good to see him walk off. Yeah. Looks like he's getting a little bit more weight on that leg as he's getting closer to the sidelines.
I love what the Memphis coaches had to say about DeMonte Coxie, number 10. The prolific wide receiver said that he works as hard as anyone that they've ever seen. Sitting down on the bench here on 4th down and 13. Adam Williams with the punt. Going to try and get it inside the 10-yard line. And it caroms into the end zone. It'll come back out. 1st down and 10. Well, we talked about it in the second quarter. Wondering why they're heading into that box. Dr. Olivia Decker will break it down for you on the other side. She'll put it on chill.
It's called the Boudreaux Recovery Zone, but we've been calling it the human refrigerator. It's basically what it is. About 40 players can fit in here for 5 minutes. It gets down to 18 degrees Fahrenheit. Memphis had 2 of these at their fall camp. They'll have 1 here today. It's also available for Ole Miss players.
Olivia, 18 degrees Fahrenheit sounds pretty good to me for a little bit of time on a hot day like this. Back out to Phillips.
So how does it work besides just lowering your core temperature? It helps flush your lactic acid, which is great for recovery. And it also is vasoconstricting. That basically means it flushes the blood from your skin. All of this is great, and they've been using it in the hotter practices, and they'll use it for their first couple games.
Boy, that's pretty amazing when you look at the size of that. And Olivia telling us that the entire temperature goes from 18 degrees up a bunch when all those guys get in there at the same time, Dusty.
Can we hop in right now?
I was going to ask you to call a couple plays. Get me in there a little bit because I got a little lather going up here in the booth.
I'd like to lower my court temperature.
Great stuff, Olivia. 2nd down and 8. Pass complete by Corral out to the 38-yard line. Here's what it looked like at halftime inside that box.
It's great technology, and kudos to Memphis and other schools around college football that are using this. Really helps, in hot situations. You want to keep the players hydrated. You want to keep their core temperatures down. Excellent job utilizing technology for the betterment of these collegiate athletes.
3rd and 2. They are 0 for 7 on 3rd down today. And there is their first 3rd down conversion of the afternoon. Joseph making the tackle finally on Scotty Phillips.
He needed that. It's great to see Scotty Phillips kind of get it going a little bit here in the second half. We've seen at least 3 runs of 7+ yards here to start this second half. Didn't see any of that in the first half. Ole Miss O-line getting a little more push.
Under 5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Corral downfield, caught by Elijah Moore. Their first big play of the day as he gets in behind Thomas Pickens.
Oh, excellent throw. Matt Corral on the move to his right. He got the matchup he was looking for. Elijah Moore, the small slot receiver, matched up on a linebacker, Thomas Pickens. That ball was placed perfectly. Good concentration on the sidelines. Huge play for the Rebels.
And here's Scotty Phillips again. Phillips with nowhere to go. Phillips was telling me his first conversation with Rich Rod, he was expecting to carry the ball 30 times a game. Boy, what a great grab by Moore.
Like the throw, too. On the move. We haven't seen a lot of great throws from Matt Corral today, but boy, hopefully that could be something that ignites and gets him going. Here's we get closer to the 4th quarter.
True freshman Snoop Connor in the backfield now for Ole Miss. And he makes the catch here. They get him in space, and Connor gets it down to the 18. Let's go back to Cassidy in the studio.
Thanks, Jonesy. Let's take a look at one of AT&T's best performances. Number 24, Nebraska and South Alabama over on ESPN. J.D. Spielman on the punt return goes 76 yards. Cornhuskers up 28-7 in the 3rd again over on ESPN. Mark, Dusty, back to you.
All right, Cassidy. Corral slips. Almost fell down and then forced to throw it away. Lost his balance. Was coming back the other way to Elijah Moore. And that brings up 4th and 5. And in comes the field goal unit. Boy, they had a promising looking drive.
They want a little misdirection. Roll all the way to the right. They wanted to throw it back all the way across the field to Elijah Moore. The slip cost Matt Corral. Couldn't regather himself and step into the throw. Ball sails wide, and he takes a big hit after he delivers the pass. Poor footing to a bad executed 3rd down that Ole Miss offense really needed.
Luke Logan from 35, missed earlier from 50. And finally, the Rebels on the board, 13-3 now. Their deficit with 3:11 to go in the 3rd quarter. Our camera guys do a fantastic job throughout the course of this college football season, but it's hot for them too. They can't get in that ice box. They just got their own fans.
Memphis center Dustin Woodard missed the first drive of this half and has since returned, and that's good news for the Tigers. He was an all-conference guard last year, although this is his first game at center. And of course, he's going against Benito Jones on the other side for the Rebels. He missed the first drive because he had an issue with his right hand. And I'm sorry, his left hand, and they taped it up, put on a glove. Dusty, we were talking, he snaps with his right, but you need both hands at that position.
Absolutely he does, but just to have him on the field, you got to think Mike Norvell, Kevin Johns, the offensive coordinator, was very good about that. Talented offensive lineman.
Ball goes out of bounds, flag thrown at the 8-yard line. It'll come out to the 35-yard line. 1st down and 10.
Kickoff out of bounds. Kicking team. By rule, receivers will take the ball at the 35-yard line, 1st down.
Let's take a look at today's half-lap trivia question. Now, last season, DeMonte Coxey became the third wide receiver in Memphis history with 1,000 receiving yards. Wow, that's pretty good. Coxey with over 1,000 yards. Who are the other two?
You want me to tell you? Oh. Okay.
You had one of those answers, right?
I knew both of those. The great Isaac Bruce, the greatest show on turf back in the day for the Rams. And Anthony Miller, Chicago Bear, second-round pick from a few years ago. Monte Coxey
does not have choice of the lateral position of the ball and must go in the hash mark where the ball went out of bounds. First down.
Guy's an outstanding wide receiver, and man, he puts in the work, as they told us, as hard a worker as they have within this program. Guy never wants to come off the field. It's a relentless, tireless worker who's been extremely productive.
Look over the middle, the pass complete. This is their other talented wideout, Darian Jones, making the reception, his first one of the day, as Coxey attracts so much attention from defenders. First down and 10, under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And nowhere to go that time for Patrick Taylor. Back to DeMonte Coxey. You know, coming out of high school, actually going into his senior year in high school, didn't have any offers. And he went to a couple of camps, went to LSU's football camp, and they didn't pull the trigger on the offer. Then as he started to play his high school season, he received that offer. But schools backed off after the season was over because he hurt his knee, tore his meniscus during a track and field meet. He's a very talented all-around athlete, was a long jumper.
All start, 67, offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
So after LSU and other schools backed off, he got healthy, and boy, Coach Mike Norvell moved in and swooped in at just the right time and got a commitment out of the talented 6'3" wide receiver, and he's really paid dividends for the school.
Also said an academic redshirt, now a 3.0 student. Yeah. So Coxey getting it done on and off the field.
Taylor out to the 48-yard line. Memphis won 8 games a season ago. Lost their last 2. The most disappointing one was that loss to UCF. I saw that game replaying last week, I think it was, on ESPNU, and they were up in that game too.
Yeah, both times, right? When they had them right here in Memphis, and they lose 31-30 in a rainstorm. And then obviously in that championship game down there in Orlando, they're up 24-7 early, but UCF able to fight back.
This is a program on the move and on the rise. 3rd and 11 against their rival here. The pass is complete at the 42-yard line. But it looks like it's about a yard shy of the change. Coxey made the reception on the play.
Quality job on the comeback route, working back to the football, getting his arms under it.
Gonna go for it.
Patrick Taylor.
They're going to go for it here on 4th and short. Coxey makes the catch, couldn't make the move, and a great open field tackle on the play by Jalen Jones. And Ole Miss will take over on downs.
Don't love the play call there, right? I mean, you're 4th and less than a yard. You got a 230-pound back who hasn't been stopped many times, and you wanted to throw it on the perimeter. We've seen several times these Ole Miss cornerbacks fight through the block. And take a look right here. So freeze that for me, guys. Watch him fight through this block right here. It's a tight end outside, Sean Dykes, and he just fights right through it. Nice job, open field tackle. Nowhere for Coxey to go. That's an outstanding job by Ole Miss to come create a stop and give their offense good field position. I'm going to tell you what, the momentum is swung here in the second half. Ole Miss, their offense is starting to come to life. Defense has gotten some key stops. Huge drive here.
Do they take a shot here after the big stop? We'll see. Matt Corral at quarterback out of the shotgun. Matt Corral coming out of a really talented, prolific high school program, Long Beach Poly. Going to be forced to scramble and run it. Steps out of bounds at about midfield, right at the 50.
Good call by you, partner. He wanted to take the shot there. He was looking up top. He was looking at number 11, Ontario Drummond. Good coverage down the field, and they had a safety over the top. Matt Corral just gets outside the pocket and picks up what he can. Nice gain with nothing down the field.
2nd and 5. Corral hands it off to Phillips. Phillips with a little hit of steam picks up the first down. And now that Ole Miss offense moving pretty well. You know, in speaking with Matt Corral, the quarterback, he told us about some of the expectations he had for himself going back to high school. His coaches demanding of him. His coaches included Chris Claiborne, the former NFL player, LeVar Arrington, former NFL player, and T.J. Husmanzada. That's a pretty good staff at Long Beach Poly.
Star-studded coaching staff.
Phillips, boy, he lowered his hat and brought that smoke on Sanchez Blake Jr.
Better get those pads down on Scotty Phillips. Scotty Phillips used a truck stick right there.
That is a blast play.
It's the end of the third, Olivia.
We got a birthday going here. It's Tom the Tiger, the Memphis Tigers' birthday. He's turning 11, and this is his 67th home game. But look, he's got to go through hoops to get here. Exotic pets are banned in the state of Tennessee, so they have to file federal paperwork to get him. Guess where he lives? Mississippi.
At the Liberty Bowl for the start of the fourth quarter between Ole Miss and Memphis, and boy, our Tiger looking a little bit subdued, and when you look at the numbers, you figure out why there in the third quarter, Dusty.
This game is flipped, man. Ole Miss has come to life. Look at that total yardage in the third quarter compared to the first half. Much more productive, especially running the football. It's a huge drive. Memphis defense, they're looking for a big stop.
The Tiger had land shark on his menu today, but he stopped eating. He was feasting in the early part of the game, but not so much anymore. It took land shark off the menu, at least in that third quarter. Well, almost.
Crucial third down here for this Memphis defense and for an Ole Miss offense who struggled mightily in this spot in the first half. Huge play to start this fourth quarter.
And they're going to come up about a yard or two short on third down. It'll be third down and 2. And Coach Matt Luke with a little bit of a decision right now, just underway here in the fourth and final 15 minutes of play.
I think he's going for it. I mean, they're right there on the cusp of their kicker's range.
An early defining point for Rich Rodriguez, their first-year offensive coordinator.
Memphis loading up. A lot of hats in the box here.
Play clock is down to 5. Corral pulls it out, throws it complete. First down reception made by Octavius Cooley. It was tackled immediately by Austin Hall, but Rich Rod draws up a good one.
Nice job right there by the quarterback, Matt Corral. Love the play call, a little RPO action. Matt Corral held it at the mesh point for a long time, pulled it, and then he found his tight end sneak out the backside. Great job securing the football by Octavius Cooley. Gets the big hit delivered on him by Austin Hall. And as we mentioned, a huge first down for this Rebel offense.
Well, Brian Goodson, one of the players shaken up down in the field from Memphis at the 34-yard line, but Ole Miss hangs onto the football, driving down the field when we come back to the Liberty Bowl on opening weekend in college football. Well, as we honor those who serve, brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Folks, the Liberty Bowl was originally built as Memphis Memorial Stadium in 1965. It was dedicated as a memorial to the citizens of Memphis who had served in World War I, World War II, and the Korean War. The price of $3 million. Taking a shot. And that's going to be pass interference on the play on T.J. Carter, who was defending Jonathan Mingo.
Pass interference. Number 2, defense. 15-yard penalty results in a first down.
Mark, $3 million to build this place, but $2.5 million to give it a little facelift in 2018. They got a new video board, sound system. They updated their home locker room, 6,000 square feet, leatherback seats. They got this place looking nice, and look at that scoreboard. It's huge, and the sound system, I gotta say, down here sounds awesome.
Beautiful venue. I'm impressed by this crowd. We were in the locker room yesterday. They've done a great job. That's a huge pass interference on T.J. Carter.
Down to the 17-yard line. Snoop Connor bouncing it outside. And we were able to take a little tour through this venue yesterday, and each of the players there has their names above on a flat screen television monitor. And it is, it's not far off the Ritz-Carlton in there. It was pretty comfortable.
Beautiful facility. They've done a really nice job here at the Liberty Bowl.
2nd down and 11. Corral, take the reverse, kept it, good decision. Corral chopped down short of the end zone, and he took a big hit on that right leg. It was exposed, and Sanchez Blake Jr. saved the touchdown with that stop.
Telling you, man, all the momentum right now is with this Ole Miss football team in the second half. I like the fake there to Elijah Moore, and Matt Corral able to get to the edge and inside the 5-yard line. Ole Miss in business, 1st and goal.
With Rodriguez amped up now. First time in 20 years he's been in the booth.
Officials timeout for an injured
New
player
offensive
just
coordinator.
outside the sideline.
And we have an injured player on the sideline. Second one in the last couple of minutes. Stopping play with 12:19 to go, and boy, Ole Miss really on the move right now. They have stolen the momentum from Memphis. That's Blake Jr. who made the last tackle on the play. A little shaken up after that 15-yard gain.
Okay, so Elijah Moore is going to go back in motion this way. They're in man-to-man coverage, okay? So they're going to run this defender off. So as this works, he's going to go there. That defender, 32, he vacates, right? That's what sets this play up. Excellent job on the perimeter by Snoop Connor, the running back, to escort his quarterback. That's good play call right there by Rich Rodriguez. Understanding the coverage, knowing the defender is going to go with Elijah Moore, and then your athletic quarterback, Matt Corral, making the most out of it.
Rich Rod has had some pretty prolific quarterbacks in the past. Pat White, Rasheed Marshall at West Virginia. That kind of started the carousel. 1st and goal for Ole Miss. Let's see what Adam Fuller's defense has up its sleeve. Not enough there. Close. Scotty Phillips stopped short, about a foot away.
Close. This is going to be close.
It'll be 2nd and goal.
That ball get over that line. They're not going to wait to find out. They're going fast. Ooh, I don't know.
Phillips another chance. No doubt about that one. The Rebels in the end zone for the first time this afternoon, and they cut the margin to 4, potentially to 3.
Uncle Mo is in the building. Wow, this second half, what a role reversal from the first half. Ole Miss went in almost lifeless at halftime, and they've come out, and man, has it been a different story. We got ourselves a ball game now.
Scotty Phillips with his 13th rushing touchdown of his career. The extra point is good, and the deficit cut to 3. This has been a tale of 2 different halves. The Tigers had momentum on their side in the first half, but the third quarter bringing something totally new, and now this game up for grabs.
College football on ABC is brought to you by Pacific Life. 150 years strong. Protection and retirement solutions for your future.
There's a look at the Lorraine Motel, part of the National Civil Rights Museum here in Memphis, Tennessee. The place of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s death in 1968. Right there on that balcony where he was felled by a bullet. So much history at that place. One of the best tour spokes that you will ever take in your life. And some more history here in the city of Memphis. First African-American millionaire in the South, Robert Reed Church Sr. purchased the first 1,000 municipal bond to help Memphis recover from bankruptcy. One of the real great cities here in the South. On the return, this is Antonio Gibson. And it's a brand new ball game as we take a look at today's Crunch Time, brought to you by Cheez-It.
How about the big fella, Benito Jones, saying, looky here, I don't need two. I can use one. Athletic play by the big defensive lineman, and Matt Corral, the redshirt freshman, smelling the end zone, getting this Ole Miss football team back in it in the second half with Scotty Phillips capping off the drive with a big touchdown run.
There's a look at the big guy up front, Benito Jones, with that huge play in the third quarter. Preseason All-Conference, former freshman All-American, former Mississippi High School Player of the Year from Waynesboro. 1st and 10. Let's see what Brady White can get done on this drive. Patrick Taylor runs it over the right side, picks up about 2.
And here's the other thing about this drive. Even if it's not points, they need to keep their defense off the field. Their defense has been on the field a lot in the second half. And Ole Miss, they got that momentum going. They're starting to wear down that Memphis defense. Crucial that Memphis is able to at least spell them, give them some rest, and put together a quality drive right here.
Gainwell and Coaxey, the other weapons offensively, along with Patrick Taylor. Open at the 45. Caught on the play by Coaxey. Coaxey and Clutch kind of go together. Big catch for 25 yards.
Quality protection by the offensive line. They give him plenty of time. Nice clean pocket. He can step up, deliver the throw, and look at that, right on the hands before he tiptoes out of bounds.
And the good news for Memphis, Brady White is connected on his last 6 passes in a row. This time hands it off. And Taylor gets about 3 yards. Let's check in with the studio.
Jonesy, now for today's All-State Mayhem moment. Number 21, Iowa State struggling against FCS Northern Iowa. Brock Purdy sacked here, and it's ruled a fumble. Xavier Williams grabs it and goes 53 yards for a touchdown. The Panthers with a 13-10 lead in the fourth. Mark, Dusty?
Dusty, when the FCS team comes in, gets that check and the win, it's a heck of a story. Taylor battering his way forward.
High expectations in Ames, Iowa. There's people picking them to play for a Big 12 championship. That would be a stunning loss. Yes. They're not able to come back and get the victory. And how big is this third down right here, partner?
3rd and 4. You're leading by 3, but haven't been able to move the ball much in the second half. Taylor, meanwhile, 25 rushes for 125 yards. Can't point the finger of blame at him. Two receivers stacked, bunch formation, top of your screen. White just got it away in time. Caught a yard short of the first down by Pop Williams. So it's 4th down and about 1 coming up for Brady White.
Ran the mesh route. Both wide receivers come across each other. A little pick play. Pop Williams set down in the soft zone. Set up 4th and short.
This is going to be huge. Huge. 1 of 3 on 4th down today. Last time they didn't use Patrick Taylor. We'll see what they do this time.
You got a guy that's 6'3", 230 and runs downhill. I don't know how you don't hand it to him.
White going to keep it himself. Boy, that's going to be close. That is going to be extremely close. If he got it, it wasn't by much.
That last spin at the end might have been enough. I mean, it's right at the sticks. Initially, he was stopped.
And they're going to give him the first down without even measuring for it. We got a very auspicious spot that time. 8:40 to go.
Like the extra effort right here by Brady White. Look, Lakia comes in, makes a big hit, a little spin back as he leans forward. Just enough.
White hands it off. That was Gainwell, and Gainwell down to the 40-yard line. Folks, it's the only game of the night. On Monday, we'll have Brian Kelly, number 9 Notre Dame, taking on Louisville in Scott Satterfield's debut for Louisville. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific from Cardinal Stadium on ESPN, as well as the ESPN app. Brady White, an interesting story, came all the way from California, Newhall, California. And was a little bit homesick in Oxford, in Mississippi at first. Memphis, hands it off. And Trell Gainwell with nowhere to go. Luke Knox making the stop.
This game's got you so excited, man. I mean,
no, Memphis, Mississippi, the Mississippi River, wherever, man.
No, but Brady White does have a great story. Had an awful foot injury at Arizona State, right? And he was able to battle back. And he transferred, go back with his former offensive coordinator, Mike Norvell. He's here now, and he's got his team in position to win a huge season-opening game. Can he do it? Come back. We'll find out.
"150 years of college football we're celebrating this year, and the first full weekend of college football here from Memphis, the Liberty Bowl. 13-10, the Tigers leading the Rebels. Mark Jones chopping it up with Dusty Dvorak and Olivia Decker down to the field. Big 3rd and 6 coming up for the Tigers, trying to wrest the momentum back. White under duress and sacked. Mike McIntyre's defense comes up with a huge play. Bivens with the stop.
This is the second time we've seen Bivens from the inside make an inside move. He's going to beat the guard with a quality pass rush, collapse the pocket. Watch, he's going to work here. He's going to work inside this guard. Excellent job continuing to work. Starts with the bull, rips off inside. Good coverage down the field, and a huge sack for Mike McIntyre's defense as they get off the field. They're going to get their offense the ball back, try to take the lead.
And a lot more signs of getting more pressure on the quarterback there than they did a season ago. The punt will roll inside the 5. Boy, this is going to work out great for the Memphis Tigers. It'll be down to the 2-yard line after that great punt by Adam Williams. As we take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. 13-0 ball game at halftime. Memphis seemingly in control. They had their running game working behind Patrick Taylor, who carried the ball a lot in that first half. And then Ole Miss getting on the scoreboard in the second half. And here comes Matt Corral.
Memphis defensive coordinator Adam Fuller was very upset, obviously, after Ole Miss scored their first touchdown of the day. He told his guys, don't wait for something to happen, just go get it. Now, he did take credit. He said, we're not being aggressive enough on quarterback Matt Corral. That's on me. We have plenty of time. Don't get scared. Don't quit.
See if they try and dial up a little bit of pressure on him here, deep in their own end zone. Corral to pass, and he's going to take a safety. Bryce Huff.
Well, Adam Fuller wasn't lying, was he?
Yeah.
He dialed it up when he had to. They had Ole Miss backed up. You're going to see a backer come here. It's going to be this guy right here. It's going to be Huff. It's just going to kind of sit. He's going to squat. And when the guy he's covering, the tight end, stays in, he's going to release. Untouched, huge sack, safety. What a play for this Memphis defense. Just what the defensive coordinator Adam Fuller was looking for.
Bryce Huff, number 55. Remember, he told us in our meetings yesterday, when asked, what are you going to be thinking when you line up? He said, Mark, Dusty, Olivia, I want to destroy whoever I go against. Well, he found his target that one. And it's 15-10 now. And Ole Miss will have to kick the ball away as well here.
Huge credit to the punter of Ole Miss, Adam Williams, pinning him back inside the 2. How many times today have we seen that punt just miss? Yeah. He's been flirting with pinning him inside the 5 several times. And at the perfect opportune time, he pins Ole Miss deep. And a huge play for the leader of that defense, Bryce Huff. And Adam Fuller, he's got to be elated on the sidelines.
And Pop Williams back to get this kick. the 20. A high spiral driving pop all the way back to the 13. Looking for his wedge and brought down just shy of the 32-yard line. Time out of the field. Memphis trying to keep wresting that momentum back. And we'll be back after this. Well, the recent publication ranked the top collegiate teams, football teams in the state of Tennessee. No, it wasn't that gang in orange from Knoxville. It was these guys, the Memphis Tigers. Right now leading 15-10 with 6:21 to go in the fourth quarter. The 63rd chapter of Memphis against Ole Miss. The Tigers with the lead. And Patrick Taylor lining up here in the Wildcat on 1st down and 10, trying to put this game on ice. And Taylor brought down. We lose about a yard. Jalen Jones with a stop on the play.
Nice job out there on the perimeter. Get that tackle. Kadir Shepard, first man to get there. But, back to that point, I concur. I think the way what Mike Norvell has going, and we talked to Brady White about it yesterday. We asked him about that. How do you feel about somebody saying, you guys are the best team in the state of Tennessee? And he said, honor and a privilege, but he said it's what Justin Fuente built, what Mike Norvell has continued to grow this program.
They put some players in the league as well. This is Patrick Taylor, who's headed in that direction too. The fact that he's lost some assistant coaches in the past, but they've left for some pretty prestigious jobs, right?
A lot of coaches that have left his staff have exactly that, gone on to bigger and better opportunities. He's got coaches from his staff littered all throughout college football as another Memphis Tiger offensive lineman down on the ground.
Ronan Lopez is the injured lineman, as you also saw Patrick Taylor come off the field. There's a look at a group of 5 coaches to keep an eye on, some of the real hot coaches right now, Dusty.
Josh Heupel doing an excellent job at Central Florida. Had a chance to watch them on Thursday night. Brandon Wimbush looked good. Mike Norvell, clearly one of the hot young coaches in all of college football that at big jobs, when they do come available, we'll be looking at. And love my guy Seth Luttrell there at North Texas. What he's done in Denton, Texas, absolutely off the charts. Brian Harsin continues to get it done at Boise State, and Bill Clark at UAB. Some quality group of 5 coaches that, as the graphic says, definitely want to keep an eye on throughout this college football season. As jobs become available, expect those names to be at the top of a lot of lists.
Yeah, some pretty young guys on that list too. Clark the oldest at 51, Norvell the youngest at 37, as Taylor limps his way off the field. And Dusty, I can't help but think every time a senior who turned down an opportunity to go to the NBA is even a little shaken up, sometimes there's a tendency to think, oh boy,
Yeah, definitely had petitioned the NFL last season. Let's take a look here and see as he went down, that ankle got rolled up on. You see it turn inward. You've been around basketball long enough, you know what that means.
Yeah.
Patrick Taylor out of this ball game right now. It's like Kenny Gainwell. It's going to be the back they're going with from backfield.
Leaves the game with 128 yards on 25 carries. 3rd down and 7. Looking to convert here and hang on to the football. Pass complete and a 1st down, just as you said, Dusty. Kenneth Gainwell now gets the call with Taylor out of the game. They use him in so many different productive ways. He picked up 12.
Absolutely. Excellent job by Kenny Gainwell just getting out in the flats. Here's what I want you to take a look at. The tight end's going to work up, and he's going to work out. Magnifico, it's zone coverage. Magnifico's going to work up, and it doesn't allow that defender to get to the flats. Kind of like a little pick play right there. Excellent recognition by the quarterback, Brady White. Nobody's there to cover the flats. An easy pitch and catch to Kenneth Gainwell for a crucial 1st down.
Showing a lot of skills. Receiving as well. Samuel in the ball game. And the stop made shy of midfield at about the 48-yard line. Travion Samuel. And the clock still running with 4:33 to go. Now it stops. Parham injured, the starting left guard. Folks, tonight Heisman hopeful Justin Herbert, number 11 Oregon, squaring off against number 16 Auburn in their stout D from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. And you can always watch it live on the ESPN app from anywhere. Dylan Parham on the turf. Mike Norvell said that this is the best depth that he's had at Memphis. In all areas of the game is where he wants to see it. And he had high expectations. So far right now they're leading, Dusty, with time winding down. How did they put this game away?
Well, first downs, right? Continue to do what they're doing. You move into 4-minute offense mode, being able to run the football. We just saw Patrick Taylor go out, so that means probably a steady dose of Kenneth Gainwell. So to me, that's where it's at now. That's the second offensive lineman we've seen go down in this drive. So as you're a play caller, Mike Norvell, you have to understand your personnel and know where your offensive line's at. But what a day of college football.
College football's
right?
back, man.
It's back, man. It's the first
you
game
know I
on
missed
ABC.
You, right? You know I missed
you.
You
know I missed you, man. Hey, it's back. And how about to tell the two halves, right?
Yeah.
And looked like it was a game that Memphis was going to run away with. Ole Miss didn't have much life at all offensively. And here in the second half, they've come charging back. And this game's still within the realm of striking distance for Ole Miss. Obviously, a huge drive right here and an Ole Miss defense. And if they can get a stop, it'll be intriguing to see what Matt Corral, the quarterback, is able to do.
Well, they're going to get another lineman in there. Second and 6. Look at the discrepancy in total yards. Titus Jones comes in for Dylan Parham at left guard. And they run it to that side of the field. This is Gainwell. And Gainwell didn't get out of bounds. Still in bounds. Coatney making the tackle. And it's third down coming up. You see the timeout situation. Both teams with a full complement of timeouts remaining, which becomes more paramount here as time winds down.
This is the chess right here, the chess match we've seen been going on all day between Mike Norvell, Mike McIntyre. Third and medium situation. Playbook's wide open for Mike Norvell.
Let's see if it's Coxie or maybe Gainwell again. Pass complete. Out of the backfield, Gainwell stopped up short of the first down. With 3:35 to go, Ole Miss will get a chance here, perhaps. What does Mike Norvell do? His team leading by 5.
He's going for it.
They're going to hang on.
He's rolling the dice. Wow.
Okay, fourth and 2
right here. Timeout.
Timeout. So
first charge time out of the half, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss burns one of its 3 timeouts. Remember, with Patrick Taylor out of the ball game, that's a big variable missing for the Tigers. You know, last time these two teams played here in Memphis, 2015 here at the Liberty Bowl, and the Tigers actually overcame a 14-point deficit. They were down 2 touchdowns and then stormed back, racing to a 37-24 win to remain undefeated on the season. And this is an Ole Miss team back at that time that was coming off a big Sugar Bowl appearance. So that was a talented group.
Clearly Memphis is going to go for it here. I'm a little surprised, I'll be honest with you. And they may wind up getting it, nicest game away, and it may be the right call. But as I look at this, if you punt based off what your punter did last time and you pin them, you force them to go a long way to score a touchdown. If you don't, you give Ole Miss the ball in great field position.
4th and 2. The shuffle pass, and they'll get the first down. Gainwell, boy, nice call by Mike Norvell. Kenneth Gainwell with the first down.
The gutsy call paid off. Excellent play design. Mike Norvell's had that sitting in his holster all day long. As you see Gainwell out of the slot. Wow. Just a little shovel pass. We haven't seen that all day. I saw them work on that yesterday in the walkthrough. He was waiting for the perfect opportunity. What a play call. Excellent execution.
It took a lot of courage. Hanging tight onto the ball, Kenneth Gainwell with 2:49 to go. Ole Miss with 2 timeouts remaining, and you got to look at Gainwell here as a very important component of this Memphis team, especially now with Taylor, Dusty, out of the ball game and what he's been able to do.
Oh, there's no question. We knew going in he was going to be a big component of what they do today and what they do throughout the year. And you look at the different ways they get him involved. 6 grabs for 41 yards, 12 touches, and we've just seen him manipulate the game. You have to be cognizant of where he is at all times. As Patrick Taylor's got his helmet back on, don't know if he's going to re-enter the football game, but what a opening game here for Kenneth Gainwell. Not his debut. He did play last year as a true freshman, but only played in 4 games. He was able to take advantage of the redshirt rule, but clearly he is going to be a weapon for this offense.
I tell you good news for the Tigers in that he played 4 games and that his name did not show up in the all now famous transfer portal. Mike McIntyre, the defensive coordinator, looking for his defense to come up with a big play here on 2nd and 9. Gainwell again securing the football down to the 40-yard line. Jaquez Jones, the inside linebacker, making the tackle. And Ole Miss will burn its final timeout with 2:46 to go. That Luke hanging on to hope right now, but not much of it left. 3rd down and 7 coming up as we check in with the studio.
Thanks, Jonesy. Boise State and Florida State had a time and location change due to Hurricane Dorian. This one currently on ESPN News. Hank Bachmeier to Khalil Shakir. What a catch for an 11-yard TD pass. Knowles also up 31-26 in the 3rd. And after Ole Miss Memphis, David Cutcliffe and Duke getting set to take on Nick Saban in Alabama. That's coming your way next on ABC. Mark, Dusty, Olivia, back to you.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Florida State bounces back this year. And by the way, with Dorian bearing down on the southeast portion of the country, we want to wish everyone prayers and thoughts that they would remain safe with Category 4 hurricane out there. Third and 7, Dusty. Tell me what you know.
Well, hang on. You tell me what you know. Okay, you were talking about the Mississippi River earlier, right?
Okay.
Right. You said you know where it starts. Can you name the 10 states the Mississippi lies in?
Let me see. Minnesota at Lake Itasca, Wisconsin.
Table that. I'll
Missouri.
get the rest of it from you later. You're doing good so far. You got more work to do. Big 3rd down.
Geography important here for Memphis. Gainwell in the backfield, hanging on to it, got the 1st down. Got a good block again from Dorcius, who came into the backfield and cleared the path. Huge conversion for the Tigers and a gain of 9.
Absolutely. What a day for the freshman, Kenneth Gainwell. Gains very well. Going to see here, nice little block. Going to set the edge. Going to get a defensive player, 94, Dorcius, get out in front, get just enough. Little spin, lean forward. Biggest 1st down of the game for this Memphis Tiger offense.
Gainwell, over 100 total yards in the ball game and adding to the total here. Dusty, let me go back to that last play. Good block thrown by Dorcius. Yes. You played on that side of the football defensively. They ever bring you in to block on the other side at Oklahoma?
I begged and begged and begged. No. We had something in practice by last year, but you know what? Somehow it just never happened. Chuck Long, Kevin Wilson, they never put me in, Coach.
Love seeing those defenders come in and lead the way.
Absolutely. Several times on the touchdown run earlier, he did the same thing.
Yep. Okay, so the Mississippi traverses a lot. 10, I'm going to guess Arkansas, Missouri, Louisiana.
Gainwell again. Smart. Smart
Stays in
football
bounds
player.
after picking up the first down.
Smart, unselfish. So many guys would want to take that, try to get to the corner, try to score a touchdown. But the freshman knows exactly the situation, knows once they get that first down, just get down, and it's all over. They can kneel the game out. What a day for Kenneth Gainwell.
He could have taken that to the house, or at least tried.
He could have tried.
Safe.
Smart football play by Kenneth Gainwell. All right, they're going to knee it out. So I think you had about 6 of those.
Give me the other 4. Yeah, I'm finished, man.
Kentucky.
Oh.
Iowa. Tennessee.
Okay.
Minnesota.
And the big one today here in Tennessee.
That's exactly right. That's exactly
Thanks,
right.
partner. 34 seconds to go. Memphis 19-3 at home under fourth-year head coach Mike Norvell. And they're going to put this one in the W column. And what does a win mean for Memphis here this afternoon against an SEC West division opponent?
This is a statement game, right? Look at the passion. Look at these guys. Tell me this isn't a rivalry game that means something. Huge win for this program, for Mike Norvell, to show everybody the ascension that this program is on. I give Ole Miss a lot of credit. They didn't quit. They showed a lot of fight, a lot of grit. They made it a tough, hard-fought game. I do think Matt Luke's team is on the rise. I liked what I saw in the second half offensively. I liked what I saw from Mike McIntyre. But right now, it's all about the Memphis Tigers and a huge victory for Mike Norvell and his program.
Coach Norvell said coming into the ball game this week, he was willing to tell anyone willing to listen, I want the very best they've ever been. He wasn't giving it the usual platitudes about this being just another game. He wasn't saying, oh, it's an important game because it's our next game. He was giving up the truth, folks. He said, I want them at their best. This is a huge game for our fan base and for the locals. And let's go down to Olivia for more.
Thank you, guys. Coach, congratulations. We were calling this one a statement game. What would you call this win?
It was just a great performance. We told our team whatever it took. It didn't matter. Didn't matter what the score was, just one more play. And these guys, I thought they did a wonderful job. Defense all day long. Special teams showed up big. And then to end the game the way we did, getting in big personnel and going right at them, something I'm really proud of. This game in particular had a lot of hype. Your season has a lot of hype. What noise are you going to have to ignore now? Yeah, it's just one game. I mean, there are so many things we're going to have to continue to improve on, but we got a sense of what this team's all about, and they finished today. We got to go back to work. We got to improve every single day, but I'm really proud of this football team. What answers did you get today? What was that? What answers did you get today? I see a team that has a lot of heart. I mean, this coaching staff did a great job in their preparation. We always have some things we got to clean up, but I really love this football team, the way they prepare, the way they work. Really proud of them. Congratulations, Coach. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
364 total yards for the Memphis Tigers in the victory today against their rival from Oxford, Mississippi. Mike Norvell with a great record here at home. Got great help from his quarterback, who was 23 of 31. He got it done today. And Gainwell, all he did was gain well. 15-10 the final score for Olivia, Dusty, and our entire crew. I'm Mark Jones. We send it back to the studio with Kevin Agandi.